little bit more fun for everybody. All right, you are all set. Love you. Yes. We'll have to do tea soon. Tea soon.
I hope so.
Father's Day weekend was tough, but we
Yeah.
can definitely do it. I'm gonna have them by myself when she goes to an A-level. So that's at the beginning of July. And then she's also going out of town to go visit her family in New York at the end of June. So we're just taking turns, so I'll be on my own. So sounds good. Awesome. That might be perfect. Yeah, that'd be fun. Awesome. Hello, hello. I'm fine too.
How are you?
Doing good. Trying to beat the heat.
Yes, we have to be in
That's all we're doing.
Is that all it takes?
Yeah, I think that's the baseline. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Oh,
All
goodness.
right, you guys have a great class. See you soon.
Thank you. I was admiring the Ricky designs they put up over there. You know, their boards are like tacked in there with a staple. What is that? That thing's gonna fall off. Is that the rest of the construct from the housing?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's they're not
They really have other
figures
No, they're
like
they've not done their put their best foot forward. So I have had 3 bloody noses this morning.
oh my gosh, I had a really awful one last night to the point where I thought I was gonna pass out.
I had a really awful one this morning.
Yeah.
So I am prepared, but I may just go lay down. So I want you to know I'm okay. Whatever, you know, it's just that whatever's going on in here is like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's just that's
So
awful.
the
Well, thing was like, I have really bad allergies.
I hate walking around with that stupid thing when it goes to sleep.
Yeah. Well, if you need to do that, do it.
I'm just, yeah, but I wanna let you know
Oh, thank you.
that, you know, I'm good. So,
Okay, so you don't really need anything?
so no, so don't freak out. I'm just gonna lay out.
Okay, so you know, there's washcloths in the bathroom.
Very good.
So.
I feel fine. I had a really runny nose yesterday, so I just blew my nose. And this morning I did the same thing. And no more. So don't freak out, ladies. Everything's good. It's gonna be cool.
This is Emily and Alyssa.
Nice to meet you, Marianne.
Nice to meet
Marianne
you.
with the bloody nose. Yeah, that's a good way to be introduced. I know.
Well, you don't have them right now.
I do not. So I'm good. I'll go sit with Phoebe. We'll share a Kleenex. Oh dear. What I really want to do is go swimming. I just want to be near water today. You know,
It's gonna be so hot.
90 something. For the next 3 days they just said, so yikes. I'm just glad I'm working outside. I hope all those people are
I know.
in good stead.
Yeah.
Come on, all flat. Thank you.
Yeah, I closed my house totally down.
Yep.
Blinds and.
Yep, everything shut down. Do not open. So my friend said she was coming to get the trees last week. I see that worked.
Yeah, I noticed they were still here.
Oh my goodness.
Marianne winters her trees here.
Oh,
She winters her
nice.
trees.
They love the atmosphere in here and the temperature is just really ideal for them.
Yeah. They were very
But they want to go outside, so. This is when I wish I had a truck. Then I wish I had a station wagon. Then I wish I had a sports car. Then I wish, you know, it's like all those things.
I know we need a Harry Potter car, right?
Yeah, exactly. The one that
Works and
flies and goes wherever.
whenever
That'd be
we want
great.
to.
I'll put these outside so I won't special. Come on. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, there's lots of other classes here at the other
I'm being very trusting. I left my car wide open. It's a pile of junk if anybody wants it. It's so full of dents.
Please take that car. Please take my car.
I had friends who, when their kids were little, they left their car at the airport when they went someplace. When they came back, they realized that someone had like broken into their car. But their car was like such a mess because they had kids. They couldn't determine what to do.
Oh yeah, the inside isn't any great shakes either.
Oh dear.
I inherited it from my ex-husband, so it was full of dents and bangs when I got it.
Just drive it right into the ground.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
When it doesn't start anymore, give it back.
I have all the stickers on it, you know, support your local library and read a heffing book.
All right. Well, welcome to our Monday morning gentle flow class here at Yoga Farm Ithaca. So thank you all for being here with me this morning, and thank you to you, you that are with us online. My name's Pennee, and I will be your guide this morning as we go through our flow. So this morning I just have a really gentle and the flow is really designed for everybody and everybody type as we go through this morning. And always remember that I'm just here as your guide, and that if something isn't feeling right, then let's modify it. Let's find a different pose, but really always trust your inner wisdom. And if something's feeling really super good, then go with that. And if you want to stay in that pose for a while, please honor that as well. Even though this will be a gentle flow, it's still designed to increase our flexibility, to increase our strength, our stamina, and our balance. So all those things will be incorporated within the flow, as well as our breath, really coming back to the breath and allowing the breath to be the thing that really connects us, connects our body, connects our mind to our heart or our soul. So really we'll just keep coming back to that beautiful breath. And let's get started. So we'll start by standing this morning. So let's come up to whatever a comfortable position for you. We'll bring the feet underneath the hips. I just noticed your posture this morning. Feet are underneath the hips. Knees are over the ankles. Hips are over the knees. Heart is over the hips. And let's just lift the shoulders and just release them back down. Let's take a nice inhale and lift the shoulders and release them back. And let's do that one more time. We'll lift with the breath. And on the exhale, let the shoulder blades glide. Now we'll take that inhale again, and we'll let the head reach towards the sky. And on the exhale, the chin will come to the chest. And on the inhale, that right ear comes to the right shoulder. Exhale takes the chin back to the chest. And the inhale takes the left ear to the left shoulder. We'll just move through this a couple of times. Really starting to connect with your breath, letting the breath guide the movement. Always being really nice and gentle with the neck. We'll bring that neck right back to neutral. We'll lift those shoulders one more time. Let them slide down the back. And bring your awareness now to the soles of your feet. Really feel your feet connect to your mat. Bringing you to your mat. Letting all of you come to your practice this morning. And then let the awareness from the sole of the feet just travel up the body, up through the legs, up through the torso, right up through the top of the head. Feeling yourself connected above and below. Maybe that in between above and below. And then with your eyes opened, eyes closed, eyes heavy, however is comfortable. You start at the top of the head, and with those inner eyes, just take a little bit of a trip down through the body. And just noticing how you arrived. Good morning. Just noticing how you arrived at your practice this morning. Remembering that there is no right way, no wrong way, no shoulds, no how it's supposed to be. Just noticing how you're here. And giving yourself some gratitude for being here, however you've shown up. I love this quote that I remember. It said, yoga is not for the flexible. Yoga is for the willing. And just by being here this morning, you are willing. And that's all your practice really asks of you, is to be willing. So as you feel yourself arriving to your practice, you start to connect with that breath. Noticing the breath, how it feels as if your nose is open as it comes in through the nose and out through the mouth. And if it feels comfortable to breathe in through the nose, do that. And if not, use the mouth. So let the breath move in and notice how it feels as it moves out. Then on your next inhale, I invite your breath to move down deeper into that lower diaphragm. And you might notice that as you do, the belly expands. And as you exhale, the belly contracts as the exhalation takes the breath out. Hands can remain at your side, or you can bring the hands to that lower belly. And as you inhale through the nose, feel the belly expand. And as you exhale, notice how the belly contracts. Feeling your inhale. And letting the exhale now start to be a little bit longer than your inhale. If it's useful, you can do a little count, maybe breathe in for 4, and breathe out for 6, or 8. Just let your breath guide you, using your own rhythm. And with the next inhale, let that breath permeate down through the feet, down into the earth. And as you exhale, feel that earth energy coming back up through the soles of the feet, coming into the body. The inhale takes you deep. And the exhale brings that energy up and maybe right back up through the top of the head, connecting you above. And take one more inhale here. Let the breath suspend for 1, 2, and a full exhale to release out. Now with your next inhale, we'll let those shoulders lift again and release back down. Inhale to lift and exhale, release. And just take a pause, take a moment to feel yourself here fully on your mat, fully in your practice, ready to start your flow. So the inhale brings both hands up overhead, and the exhale brings that right arm down. And let's take a nice inhale here, stretching the fingers in opposite directions, opening that side body. Inhaling that arm back up, exhaling the left arm comes down. We'll take a nice inhale here, stretching the fingers in both directions. And the inhale brings that arm up. We'll interlace those fingers, let the palms retie. And as you exhale, have a little bend here. Now on the inhale, pull that core tight as the breath brings you back to center. And on the exhale, bend to the other side. Inhale back. And we'll exhale those arms down. And we'll roll those shoulders again. So we'll go through and we'll move our spine in 6 ways. So we just move from side to side. So we'll take an inhale, bring those hands back up. The exhale brings the hands into cactus pose. And as you inhale, we'll open the chest. And on the exhale, round the shoulders, bringing the forearms and palms together, belly button to spine. And as you inhale, we'll have a little bit of a ducktail here in the back. And on the exhale, we'll round and bring that back to center. So we'll do this little spinal breath, letting that spine have some movement this morning. The knees stay slightly bent here. Let that breath just fill you. And on the exhale, let's release what needs to go. Now this time as you inhale, those hands come to the cactus, but we'll do a little bit of a twist. The exhale brings us back to center. And the inhale brings us to the other side. And now we're moving the spine in a gentle twist, side to side. And back to center again. And we'll release that down and we'll get those arms in shape. Now we'll do a little work with our shoulders this morning. So we'll bring the fingertips right to the shoulders. And as you take an inhale, we'll bring the elbows down and up, and the exhale takes them around. Inhale up. And exhale around. Letting any tightness that you noticed, any tension, just let that start to release. And you'll release that down. On the inhale, we'll bring those hands out to a T. And on the exhale, we'll bring one elbow in front of the other. Now, back of the hands can be together, or our palms can be together, or hands can rest on the shoulders, whichever is comfortable here. And as you inhale, we'll let the gaze lift as the shoulder or the elbows gently lift. And on the exhale, the elbows lower, as does the gaze. We'll just move with your breath here a couple of times. Remember, we're not pushing past any edge. We're just going to like a comfortable place. Now, when the arms are lowered, We'll bring the arms around the body. Take an inhale to lengthen the spine. And on the exhale, we'll do that little twist to one side. The inhale brings you back to center. The exhale takes you to the other side. And back to center. Release those arms back to the T. And this time we'll cross in the opposite direction. So find whichever comfortable. And we'll do that little inhale to lift the gaze and the elbows. And the exhale to release. Notice how your jaw feels. Maybe your jaw needs to relax. And once you've exhaled, you can release the hands. Give yourself that hug again. You take the inhale. And we'll do a little twist. Back to center. And exhale to the other side. We come back and we'll release that out. All right, so we'll tilt the shoulders here for a little bit. We'll bring the hands back up to that T, and we'll bring that left arm across. Right arm comes underneath. And we'll have a nice little stretch here, maybe, well, just a little bit of a pulsing effect. That top arm. And we'll release that down, back to that T. And we'll bring the right arm around. The left arm come up, so we're either above or below the elbow here. And just have a nice little stretch here. All right, let's bring that down and shake it out. Now from the waist down, we're going to be nice and steady and firm here. We'll bring the hands to the shoulders. And as we take an inhale, we'll turn to the left. I'm not going to be mirroring you right now. We'll turn to the left. And on the exhale, we'll turn to the right. So you can let your breath start to guide you here. This can be a nice, slow, gentle motion. Or as things start to warm up, you might want to bring a little bit more speed into this. So it can be a eyes here can follow the motion, eyes can be closed, or you can let your head stay stable. And back to center. We'll bring the hands together, interlace the fingers, press them forward. Just heard mine crack. And we'll let that release as the palms push out, the palms push down. We'll make those fists, rotate the wrists, the elbows get involved here, and the shoulders. And then we'll bring the hands together, interlace the fingers, and again, just let things move around. Yeah, right. I'll bring the hands back to the shoulders, back of the hands come together, hands come forward, then the palms come together as we just start to make some rotations here. Now this motion, you can stay right where you are, and you can bring it to the side, you can differ the level, just whatever feels good. And then reverse that and go in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Here, 1 second, screw this.
All right, so shake those hands and elbows out. And we'll bring the feet just a little bit wider than hip width apart. We'll bring the hands to the back, and we'll just start to make some circles with the hips. So we're just going to, again, just an edge of comfort. We're not going past that. We're keeping the head, the neck, all in line with that spine, so we're not bending at the waist, we're keeping that all nice and connected. And we'll go in the other direction. And the creaking that you hear is really the stage up here. It's really not the stage this time. Sometimes it can be, but right now it's not. All right, so we'll bring those feet back under the hips. We'll bring our hands to the waist and we'll just now let the hips rotate. So let this just be in the hip area. So let the hips make that circle as if your tailbone is drawing circle on your mat. And then we'll go in the other direction. All right, and shake that out. And actually, let's do our knees too. Let's bring the feet right together. The knees come right together. Hands come to the knees. Holding those knees right together, and we'll just make some circles with the knees. Keeping the knees connected. And then we'll go in the other direction. We'll bring the knees back to center and we'll take a breath and bend the knees. And on the exhale, we'll push that lower back right up towards the sky. So you're kind of in this right angle position. And we'll just move from bend to straighten. Then it doesn't matter how deep the bend is. And we'll come back to standing. And we'll bring one foot out with that ball of the foot on the mat. And we'll start to make some circles. So the knee, yep. We're all involved as well. And going in the other direction. And then we'll give that a little shake. We'll bring that toe in and give it a nice little stretch. And then we'll do the other side. Bring the other foot out. Some rotations with that ankle. That little shake. And give that toe a little stretch. All right, let's shake out those legs. Okay, with feet a little bit wider than hips width apart, again, we're going to, from the waist down, really find a nice solid base. And from the waist up, we'll start to let that torso move. And as the torso moves, the arms just follow. We'll let the arms connect with the body, wherever they land. That could be the lower back, it could be the hips. Just let the arms move. And connect. However, it feels that lower back, release. And stay connected with your breath here. Inhale, exhale. And we'll let this slowly start to wind down. Just take a nice inhale, lift those shoulders. And exhale. Now with the feet back underneath the hips, we'll shift all the weight over to that right foot and we'll bring that left knee up and we'll just make some circles. We'll just make circles with them. Putting that foot down whenever it's comfortable. And we'll go in the other direction. And then we'll just bring it up and around. Up and around. Up and around. And then we'll do this on the other side. So we'll shift that weight over to that left foot. Bring the right foot up. And make those circles. In both directions. And then we'll bring it up and out. And we'll shake that all out. All right, so now, since it's really hot, let's just be hotter. So we will do what are called yogi marches. So for yogi marches, we'll for yogi march, our hands are overhead. And as you inhale, the hands come up, and on the exhale, the hands come down to a cactus as one knee comes up. Then the inhale takes the hands up, the foot down, and we move to the other side. So on this, the knee comes up, or maybe the foot doesn't even leave the floor. So there are lots of, the hands also can stay right at shoulder level and come up and down. So honoring your shoulder and honoring your hips. Now we'll do this for 30 seconds. Starting and stopping as you see fit. And then we'll take a pause. So let's take an inhale. And here we go. Exhale, we'll go. Go at your speed, with your breath. Starting and stopping. Doing great, everybody. Seconds can seem really long sometimes. Okay, inhale, both hands come up. Exhale, bringing the hands, let them rest on that lower abdomen. And just take a moment here. Just notice your body. Notice how it feels. Take a nice inhale, a long slow exhale out. And then we'll bring those hands up. And we'll get ready to do this for another 30 seconds. So inhale up and remember, the knees can be at any level, the arms can be at any level. And you can start and stop at any time. And inhale, both hands come up. And exhale, release them down. Hands come to that lower belly. And just take a moment, take a pause. And just notice, being present in your body. Once again, feeling the feet connected to your mat. Feeling that energy as it moves right up through the body, up through the top of the head, connecting you above and below. And then we'll release those hands and let's give everything a nice full shake out. So shake out your hands, your elbows, your shoulders, your hips, your legs, whatever feels like shaking, just let it go. Yeah, and if it doesn't feel like it's a good thing to shake right now, don't shake.
Don't shake.
Alright. Shaking really is good, it helps with soothe your nervous system. Have a lot of letting go and releasing. Alright. So we'll take that inhale. And on the exhale, let the knees bend as you bend from your hip creases as you come forward. Letting the hands rest on the floor, on blocks, on your ankles, on opposite elbows. Let the head and the neck release and relax. Knees can be bent here. Your knees can be a little straighter. Bent knees get into the lower back. Straighter knees get into the hamstrings. So you be your teacher here. Just let that go. Maybe let the hips move from side to side just a bit. Then with the hands down towards the mat, we'll come down onto one knee and then the other knee as we come into tabletop. So if you want to bring a blanket under the knees, please feel free to do that. Those wrists are right underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And as you inhale, let that belly button move towards the earth as the chest opens, gaze forward. And on the exhale, pull the belly button up toward the spine, chin comes to chest as you gently press up from the palms of the hands. Inhale, opens. And the exhale rounds the back. The gaze comes towards the knees, the thighs. Let your breath guide you here. Just enjoy this movement of the spine. Now your yogi's choice here, continue with the cat-cow, or come into a neutral position and let the hips move from side to side. You can look over the right shoulder toward the right hip, left shoulder towards the left hip. You can also let the hips make some circles here. So the hips are circling. Just in one direction and then the other. And we'll bring this back to neutral and we'll take that left leg and we'll just bring it back with the toe tucked and just have a nice little stretch here. We'll leave that foot right on the mat for now. Have a nice little stretch and then we'll switch legs. We'll bring that knee back, take that right leg out, give it a nice little stretch, toes tucked and on the mat. And that knee comes back. Now we're bringing those hands a little bit forward on the mat. Fingers are wide and those are pressed into the mat. Tuck the toes. And as you inhale, lift the hips or the sits bones right up to the sky. As you come into that downward facing dog. Pedaling those feet, pulling that belly button in toward the spine. And from here, we'll either come into tabletop or come into a plank position. If you're in plank, the head, the neck, the head, the neck, and the back are all in alignment here. As we take a couple of nice breaths, we're going to hold this for a few breaths. You can always come down into tabletop and come back into plank. Keeping that belly button pulled in. Keeping your breath going, because you're so strong, you can do this. Breathing, keeping the breath moving in and out. Oh, you guys are awesome. You almost got 30 seconds. Just a couple more. All right, and release those knees, chest, and chin, or forehead, or cheek to the mat. And take a nice breath. Letting it all go. Nicely done. Now, with your next breath, we'll bring the elbows underneath the shoulders, palms come down to the mat as we come up into this nice little back bend. Breathing here. Lifting up out of from the waist. Feet are long on the mat. Gaze is just gently forward.
Okay, Gavin. Okay, yeah, you can just leave it here. Thank you. Have a good one.
Other child's pose. So let's bring those knees wide, coming down and just releasing it all. Letting the back release. And up, we come back into that. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Now bring the right leg back. Or keep that back leg on the mat, yogi's choice. Hips are square to the mat. Now, if you like, you can lift that back leg and lift that left hand. And if you'd like to bring the elbow and knee together, that is another option. Keeping the breath moving here. And then we'll release the hand down, release the knee down. And let's find child's pose. Knees are wide, toes are touching, and forehead resting. Take a nice inhale and a full exhale, maybe even with a sigh. And just let it go. The inhale brings you back to tabletop. And from tabletop, we'll come around into a seated position. All right. So from seated, and always remember you can sit up on a block, on a blanket, letting your body direct you here. We'll bring the soles of the feet together. And we'll let the knees have a little flutter here. We'll bring the knees back to stillness. We'll take a breath right from the sits bones, let it go right up through the spine, through the top of the head. And on the exhale, we'll bring that torso forward, leading with the heart space, wherever that is. So we're not pulling with the hands, we're really letting gravity, letting gravity bring us forward to wherever that is today. You know, part of our yoga is just being with whatever it is. We're not judging, not telling stories, just being okay with what our body is giving us for today. And on the inhale, we'll bring that torso back to upright. We'll bring the knees together and we'll bring them wide on the mat. So with our knees wide, we'll do the same type of thing. We'll breathe right up through the sits bones, from the sits bones, and on the exhale, we'll walk those fingers forward and find where your edge is today. Now you can always have blocks underneath your leg. You can have the knees bent, the feet on the floor. So finding your position for this morning. And just listening here, sometimes the body might invite you to go a little bit deeper. And if it does, you can say yes, or you can say, yeah, no, I'm not doing that right now. So it's always your choice. And we'll walk those hands back. And this time we'll take that right foot and we'll bring it in. When I bring mine in, I need a block underneath it. So if you like to have a prop or a block, please use that. We'll inhale and once again, walk those fingers forward. Breathing here. Letting the breath release whatever you'd like to release. And bringing in that freshness with the inhale. And letting the exhale take away any stillness. Walk those hands back. Take a moment here as we extend one leg and bring the other leg in. Take that inhale and walk forward on this side. Notice where you feel the sensations. Let the breath breathe into the sensation and breathe out from the sensation. And maybe you feel it different from side to side. We do use sides of our bodies differently. And that's okay. It's just nice to be aware sometimes. Send some gratitude to your body for all it does for you. And walk this back. Nice and slow. Release that leg. And we'll bring both legs forward. Now, as we get ready to go into the forward fold, the legs can be straight. Knees could be bent with feet on the floor, or blocks can be under the legs. So once again, there's lots of options. So take that inhale, lengthen right up through the spine. And on the exhale, coming forward, letting the hands rest wherever they are today. And release into the pose. And we'll walk the hands back up. Let the shoulders lift, release back down. We'll bend the legs, soles of the feet on the floor. So really engage that core. So feel that core tighten and slowly start to roll down to your mat. Just take a nice little trip down, keeping that core nice and tight. Just letting yourself come down. Feel the back engage, shoulders, the head. Let the knees come into the chest, giving them a nice hug. Gentle roll here from side to side. And we'll bring the feet down to the mat, knees stay bent. Now we'll bring the hands right underneath the hips. So I usually make a little diamond here with my fingers and bring them right under my hips. And there's a few options here. So legs we're going to extend long. You ready? Okay, there you go, sorry. All right, so do you have a block?
I know.
Here, I'll get you one. I apologize. I didn't see.
I'm fully equipped, not today.
Say that.
Very fast.
All right, so knees are bent,
Okay.
feet are on the mat. And we'll walk the heels up toward the hips. And as you inhale, bless you. As you inhale, lift the hips, pushing up through the heels, grab your block. And bring that block right underneath the hips and let the hips rest on that block. Just take a nice inhale and an exhale here. So the weight is more on your shoulders. Now, another option for this is to extend your legs long, but if there's any pull on the back, please bend the knees and bring the feet back to the mat. Knees are pointed right up to the ceiling here. And if it's uncomfortable, always come down off the mat, really using your intuition here. And we'll take a nice inhale, lift the hips as you tighten the core, remove the block, and let the back slowly roll down to meet your mat. And once again, let the knees move from side to side. All right, we'll bring those knees back to center. And we'll bring that right ankle up over that left leg. So the left foot's on the floor. Right ankle is up on top of that left leg. And you can stay right here if you choose this morning, or lift that left leg right up off the mat, letting the hands be either in front of or in back of that knee. Shoulders and head are nicely relaxed on the mat, resting on the mat. Right foot is flexed. And the breath is moving in and out, easy and smoothly. Now release that. If the left foot is up, bring it back to the mat. Keep that right foot right where it is and just let the hips start to roll from side to side. With a nice little side to side motion here. This can be a small motion, it can be large. Coming back to center, we'll release that right foot down. And bring that left leg up on top of the right. So again, stay right here if you choose, or lift that right foot up. Running the hands in front or in back of the knee. And breathe. That right, or the left, no, the right foot is up, bring it back down. Whichever foot was up, bring it down. And we'll let the legs move from side to side. Coming back to center. So we'll release that foot down. And let's realign everything. We get everything back in alignment. We'll inhale and we'll bring those knees back in to the chest. And with the knees into the chest, we'll bring the feet so that they're parallel with the ceiling. Now you can grab onto your pant legs or your calves. You can hook those V fingers over the toes or reach the outside of the foot coming into your happy baby pose this morning. However that feels. Have some fun with this. I was just watching my grandson put his toes in his mouth. An amazing feat to me. Encouraging him to keep doing that. And then we'll release this down, pull those knees into the chest. Take a nice inhale, and as you exhale, come over onto that left hip, bringing the knees over to the left. Right shoulder releases back. And you can use a block to hold your knees or your hands. Whatever brings you some ease into the pose. Now your gaze can be over that right shoulder, the gaze can be at the ceiling, or if the gaze is towards the knees, it brings it into more of a restorative pose. Hands can be by the hips, hands can be in a T or in a goddess pose or in a cactus arms. The inhale brings the knees back to center. Feet are on the floor as the spine realigns. And we'll pull those knees back into the chest. And the exhale takes them over to the right, rolling onto that right hip. Left shoulder releases back. And propping those knees, supporting them. Well, the inhale brings you back to center. I'll extend one leg long and then the other leg. And we'll bring that left ankle to the outside of the mat. So the left leg ankle comes over to the left. The right ankle comes over the left. Hands come above the head as the right wrist comes to that left hand. And you come into this gentle side opener. Hips are both connected to the mat. Honoring your shoulders here, making sure that they're feeling supported and comfortable. And then we'll move the right ankle to the right side of the mat, left ankle over right, and that left wrist comes to the right hand. Your little banana asana pose this morning. Feeling that nice stretch of the left side body. And back you go. Coming back to center. Okay, before we get ready for our final pose, we are going to do our stretch pose this morning. Now for stretch pose, there are a number of options. So for stretch pose, I use my hands under my hips just to keep my lower back snug into the mat. Legs are extended long. Feet will lift just a couple inches off the mat, as will the head. And the breath will be from the belly. So it'll be a breath. Options are to put a block underneath the ankles or the heels, And the other option is to put a block underneath the head. So you can have a block under both or a block just under one. And coming in and out of the pose. As you see fit. So we'll do this for 30 seconds. So we'll bring the hands under the hips. I will keep track of the time, and I promise. And so we'll lift the feet, lift the head, and start the breath. Remember, you can come in, you can come out of the pose at any time. You're halfway there. Keep that breath moving, even if you come out of the pose, reset the breath. Keep going. You've got 5 more seconds. Take a nice inhale, hold, 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 hold. And on the exhale, release everything down. Take a nice breath and just be. Nicely done. And we'll get ready to do one more time for 30 seconds. You can opt out if you choose, that's fine. If you opt in, you can take a breath, lift the heels or feet, lift the head, and breathe. Yep, you can always just lift one leg or the other, use the blocks, and come in and out. You're almost there, 5 more seconds. Take a nice inhale, hold, hold, hold. And on the exhale, release it all down. Release the hands, just take a moment to feel energy moving. Legs can stay long here, or if you'd like to bring the soles of the feet together with the knees wide. You can always try that. You can use blocks to hold those legs, or let your fists support right between where the hips and the legs meet. And just breathe here. And then we'll prepare for your relaxation pose. So whatever you would like to have for your relaxation, if you'd like to have a blanket, pillow under the head, a bolster under the knees.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Bolster under the.
No, I think I'm gonna keep it under my head, but. Make it comfy.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And just find really what makes you nice and useful. Right. Take a nice inhale, full inhale in. Suspend the breath for 1, 2, and a nice long, slow exhale out. Let your body relax into the mat. Let it become heavy and soft. Allowing your body to reap the benefits of your practice today as you give yourself these few minutes in stillness, in relaxation, and just being present with the whole body. Release With the breath release. And let the mind journey to maybe a place where it loves to be. Gently open to receive your next inhale. And with deep gratitude, release the exhale. With the inhale, let the breath bring awareness into the feet and into the hands. Finding some movement in the toes and the fingers. Maybe the wrists and the ankles. Letting the knees start to bend as they pull up toward the chest. Maybe the knees want to be all the way in. Maybe the feet stay on the floor. Maybe the body wants a full body stretch. Listening to your own instinctive wisdom as to what your body is asking for. And when you're ready, rolling over onto one side, cradling the head with your blanket or your elbow or your hand, and just taking a pause here, sending yourself gratitude for your practice this morning, transitioning from this practice on your mat to your yoga practice off the mat, and acknowledging the good that is already in your life, for that is the foundation for all abundance. And when you're ready, use the palms of the hands to connect with the mat as you bring yourself back to an upright position. And if it's comfortable, you can bring palms together in front of heart space, thumbs to sternum. The love, the light, the radiance that lives in me recognizes, honors, and is so grateful for the love, the light, the radiance that shines from you. Thank you so much for your presence this morning. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, Pennee.
Thank you. Thank you for being here this morning.
Wonderful way to start the week.
Ah, I think so too, actually.
It's going to be a hot one.
Yeah, it sounds like it just might be.
Having a heat wave.
Right. Thank you for being here with me today.
Is that the person that owns the building outside the building?
Yes. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Occasionally walking around it.